Hi, I'm Luke Welch of WinePressFilms. The Unity of the Bible is an internet video series demonstrating the unified relationship between the Old and New Testaments. This current video is called Old Testament Grace. We're focusing on Psalm 130 as a way of discussing the fact that Old Testament believers were saved by grace. We are attacking head-on the myth that is accidentally believed in much of Christianity, that people in the Old Testament were somehow saved by works and people in the New Testament are saved by grace. This is not true. People in the Old Testament were saved by grace and had to be saved by grace the same way that we have to be saved by grace in the New Testament. Let's take a look first at the text of Psalm 130, and then we will move on to discussing 4 short points that show that the Old Testament believer knew his sin, called for grace, and received forgiveness, and that it was necessary for him. On to the text. Out of the depths I cry to you, O Lord. O Lord, hear my voice. Let your ears be attentive to the voice of my pleas for mercy. If you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, O Lord, who could stand? But with you there is forgiveness, that you may be feared. I wait for the Lord, my soul waits, and in his word I hope. My soul waits for the Lord, more than watchmen for the morning, more than watchmen for the morning. O Israel, hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is steadfast love, and with him there is plentiful redemption, and he will redeem Israel from all his iniquities. Let us state first positively what this psalm says. The psalm says, everyone, regardless of who you are, Jew or Gentile, but focusing here on the Jews, is a sinner, is in the line of judgment, and without mercy will fall. So even God's people are in need of salvation, but they, since they do trust in God, have hope, because there is plentiful redemption with Yahweh, with whom alone there is salvation. What many churches have accidentally said today is that the Old Testament people were under a kind of a system of law where they had to earn salvation by being good enough and keeping all kinds of rules, and that we are gladly set free in the New Testament from this stricture, and we are allowed to experience grace. They take the words of Paul that we are no longer under law but grace to mean that now we are saved by grace, then they were saved by law. That is not the case. They also were saved by grace in the Old Testament, as we heard in this psalm. Our 4 points in short. All people are sinners. Verse 3, if you, O Lord, should mark iniquities, who could stand? No one would stand up if they were judged by God and his perfect knowledge. There's no one that escapes judgment for sin. A second point is that sin brings judgment. It's not just that everyone would fall into this category, but everyone would fall into the category of judgment and would fall before the Lord's eye of judgment. After this, the third point is that God's people, those who were already called and set apart, recognize their sinfulness and the fact that they are saved by mercy. So the Israelites know they are not being saved by works, but that they are hoping in the plentiful redemption of the merciful God. That is what we find here. And that leads us to the 4th point, that in Yahweh alone is their mercy. And in Yahweh alone is their salvation. This is very close. It is in fact exactly the same as our doctrine of salvation in the New Testament, that in God alone there is salvation. There is no one who could stand before him. Our works are not good enough. We would all be judged sinners. Judgment is certain. Salvation is even needed by God's people. We're not special without sin, but our God is a God with whom there is plentiful redemption, so we may hope in him. This doctrine of grace is found in the Old Testament.